Whether we like it or not, feeding our children a vegan diet can be somewhat of a controversial topic. And the vegan parents underfeeding their vegan children and making the media headlines are certainly not helping. With that said, there's probably a very big chance that at least some of the people in your life will express some concern when finding out that you're choosing to raise your child with no animal products at all in their diet. And coming up with responses to their concerns on the fly can be challenging, even for me as a registered dietitian. But what I've found is that preparation is key when trying to address people's concerns. So that's why in this video, I've decided to share the 4 main things I keep in mind when addressing people's concerns about my decision to raise my child on a vegan diet. For our family, the choice to feed our little one a vegan diet stems primarily from an ethical standpoint. But that being said, just like most parents, I believe, I hope, we put our child's health first. Being a registered dietitian definitely helps with this because it gives me the knowledge needed to know how to balance her diet and make sure that she meets her nutrient and energy needs. And with that said, it also puts me in sort of a special category because I'm way less likely to get flack about our diet choices than, let's say, other vegan parents, especially from people that know about my profession. But that being said, I also believe that the way that I respond to people's concerns helps alleviate them, and it may even open their mind up to some alternative diet and lifestyle choices. So without any further ado, here are the 4 things that I always try to keep in mind when addressing people's concerns about my decision to feed my little one a vegan diet. I like to believe that most times concern stems from love. And even if it doesn't, I still choose to believe it does because it helps me approach a situation in a calmer, less confrontational way. So let me give you an example. My own mother, who is very supportive of our vegan lifestyle and is obviously aware of my nutrition knowledge, still comes up with concerns from time to time because she might hear about such and such nutrient on the radio, that it's difficult to get them on a vegan diet, and then she starts wondering whether her grandchild is getting all the nutrients that she needs from the diet that she's being fed. And of course, I could choose to perceive this as her constantly questioning our choices and our vegan lifestyle and our beliefs, which would probably cause me to feel very annoyed and respond in an exacerbated tone, but I choose not to. After all, my daughter is her granddaughter, so she's absolutely allowed to have concerns and to express them and to ask questions about her granddaughter's well-being. And I tell myself that this stems from love, and in this case it really does. So I take my time to thoroughly answer her questions and help alleviate her concerns, and then we can move on to another topic, and this concern is way less likely to reoccur in the future if I have addressed it thoroughly and calmly the first time around. I personally like to make sure that I gather up all the facts and information before offering up an explanation, both inside and outside of my office. And oftentimes I find that people's initial concern actually hides a deeper concern that's not always very obvious. Let me give you an example. For instance, one common concern that I hear directed at vegan parents is that we are forcing our children to eat a vegan diet. And upon hearing this over and over, it could be quite frustrating, and it could cause me, for example, to launch into a monologue about how every parent makes choices for their children, be it about education or religion or diet. But I choose to take a deep breath and instead ask why they find this concerning. More oftentimes than not, their answer makes me realize that they're not truly worried about my child's freedom of choice, but rather they're worried about them feeling excluded in social situations, or perhaps not growing as well as they could, or about them not knowing what to offer them when my child comes over to eat. And all are legitimate concerns which I can then offer reassurance to and solutions to. Of course, there's drilling when I want to film. Well, let's hope you don't hear it. More and more studies are being published each year about the benefits linked to eating more plant foods, and also increasingly more organizations are coming out with official statements about how a vegan diet can be adequate for all life stages, including infancy and childhood, with the US Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, the British Dietetics Association, and the Italian Society of Nutrition being some of them. Just keep in mind that the keyword here is well planned, and that does require the use of fortified foods or supplements, and that most of these health organizations, as well well as myself, recommend that parents make sure that they speak to a qualified health professional about the adequacy of their infant or child's vegan diet. And in this case, the best health professional to address this would be a registered dietitian that specializes in vegan diets. So if you haven't done so already, I strongly encourage you to book a session with a registered dietitian near you. Not only will this give you peace of mind that your child is getting all the nutrients that they need, it will also help give you tips about how to make sure that they keep on getting the nutrients that they need despite allergies or picky eating behaviors. And as an added bonus, you can then share with those concerned around you that your child is being followed by a qualified nutrition professional. That should hopefully ease some of their concerns. There are also increasingly more registered dietitians specializing in this field, and several of them have written well-researched science-based books that you can use as a reference. I actually filmed a video on this topic not too long ago about my favorite nutrition books that I recommend you should read. So if you want to check that video out, I'll link it up in the cards and in the description box below. And all of these are great resources that you can pass along to people that are concerned about your diet choices for your child. When all else fails, I find that the easiest way to put an end to a person's concern is to remind them that my child is being followed by a board-certified pediatrician, that they have regular checkups, that they're growing according to the World Health Organization charts, they're well on track, and that their blood values are well within the normal ranges. And if needed, I also add that if my child's pediatrician is not concerned, I doubt that there's any reason for them to be. If you'd like to see my answers to more specific questions, make sure to check out the accompanying article to this video, which I've posted on the Veggies and More website. In it, I share my personal answers to common questions like, what if your child wants to taste meat when they grow up? Or what about the media coverage of all those vegan kids being harmed by a vegan diet? So check it out and feel free to share it with those around you that are expressing concerns. And if you have any additional concerns that you'd like for me to add to the list, make sure to let me know, because I am planning on updating this list as time goes by. Now, I'm curious, how do you handle people expressing concerns about your choice to feed your child a vegan diet? Let me know in the comments below. And with that said, that's it for today. Until next time, ciao ciao!